We are now under 1 week away from the highly awaited third encounter between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez. Let the 5-week festivities commence. Let the debate begin as aficionados will weigh in as the big fight looms near. Storylines abundant, we will have plenty to talk about this week. Let us begin with Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s announcement that he may possibly fight Manny Pacquiao next year. Now, I wouldn't jump the gun on this, simply because this isn't exactly the first time he's done this. As many of you will remember, when Manny Pacquiao was fighting Ricky Hatton 2 years ago, Floyd Mayweather Jr. took that same exact weekend to announce a fight with Juan Manuel Marquez. Now, Floyd, he loves the spotlight, and that was well thought out, well planned. You know what I'm saying? And then, the following year, when Manny announced that he was going to fight Joshua Clottey in Dallas, Floyd attempted to one-up him again and announced that he was fighting Shane Mosley. And now, just this latest year, when Manny announced that he was going to fight Juan Manuel Marquez during the summer, Floyd goes and announces that he's going to fight Victor Ortiz. And so, you know what I'm saying? We should take what Mayweather says with a grain of salt, because until the fight is signed and sealed, it's all a subject of debate and basically a rumor. So that's looming large over this fight. And now, we also have the latest string of pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? The fans haven't exactly been thrilled with the results. You know what I'm saying? With Mayweather fighting Ortiz, the controversial finish to that fight, it left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouth. And, and just this past month, with Chad Dawson and Bernard Hopkins in Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? That fight, a lot of people felt was ended a bit prematurely, but barring any staged theatrics or any underhanded tactics, you know what I'm saying, this should be well worth your money. If you can't pay for it on your own, buy a pack of Tecate, you know what I'm saying, and you can get a $25 rebate, throw a party, have some friends pitch in. You won't really want to miss this, you know what I mean? And despite this hard economy, one good note coming out of this bout is that the fight has been sold out live, so it'll attract a pretty good gate. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure the city of Las Vegas, could use that. Expect to see the regulars, you know what I'm saying? We'll see a lot of celebrities at this bout, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, that, the economy won't detract them from showing up. And, a little thing that's gone unnoticed is the fact that UFC is having their first showcase fight on cable television. Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos. And you know what I'm saying? Just to add on to the latest pay-per-views, a lot of people, we're not exactly doing the best job attracting casual fans. So, the casual fans who are trying to get into boxing, they might have seen those latest fights. And, there's a possibility we'll lose a few viewers because of that. A few people will be more inclined to watch UFC this weekend, but I still expect this fight to do within the numbers of about 1 million, 1.25 million buys. You know what I'm saying? So this should still be a huge event for boxing. Now, let's get to the fight itself. Boxing analysts, critics, fans haven't exactly been giving Juan Manuel Marquez a fair chance in this fight. They'll point out and saying he's getting older. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we all know Juan Manuel Marquez isn't getting any younger. A lot of people will point to Manny's impressive victories over Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito. They'll say, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this guy beating larger men so easily? if he can beat larger men, how much of a problem should he have dealing with Juan Manuel Marquez? Well, the thing is, people aren't really taking a few details into account. Cotto and Margarito are pressure fighters. Okay, they're naturally bigger, which means they're also naturally slower, which will always give Manny the advantage in the speed category. He would always have that natural advantage over them. Marquez may be smaller, but he's a little bit more versatile. He's a bit faster than Cotto and Margarito were. You know what I'm saying? He will make Manny work for these rounds. It won't, you know what I'm saying? He won't try to impose himself. He'll just go in there and fight his fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I did watch 24/7 this past weekend. I don't buy Nacho Beristáin's claims that Marquez is getting faster, you know what I'm saying? But this is why I do believe Juan Manuel Marquez will win this weekend. You know, something that Manny's recent opponents have been missing in their arsenal is they don't employ a good jab. You know what I'm saying? Shea Mosley's jab was basically non-existent. Margarito didn't have a jab. Oscar De La Hoya simply refused to use it. He had reach on man, didn't use it. Ricky Hatton, he just tries to smother you. Again, no jab. Joshua Clottey, he didn't throw anything. You know what I'm saying? The only fighter I'd say had a pretty decent jab was Miguel Cotto, but again, he didn't use it. You know, Juan Manuel Marquez, he likes to utilize his jab. You know, he likes to utilize his jab to set up counter punches, you know what I'm saying, counter punching opportunities. And you know, another thing that Manny's opponents have been missing is a good right hand. You know what I'm saying? Juan Manuel has a vicious straight right hand. And you know, to keep a southpaw at bay, you need that right hand. You know what I'm saying? It's just a given. You need that right hand. And you know, Manny has been able to, he's kind of dodged that bullet in a way, you know what I'm saying? He's been spared of fighting opponents that haven't had a decent right hand, you know what I'm saying? Shea Mosley, in his prime, had a very good right hand, but he didn't quite use it in this bout with Pacquiao. Now Marquez, you know what I'm saying, I haven't really seen a decline in his right hand, so expect to see him throw it Saturday night. Now, another factor is that Juan Manuel is possibly the best combination puncher in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And none of these guys that have fought Manny since he last fought Marquez have been combination punchers. None of them. You know what I'm saying? Marquez employs diverse combinations, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take a genius to notice that. If you saw his fights against Juan Diaz, you'll see that, after he got him down, he went down to the body, and then he went up and started throwing uppercuts, you know what I'm saying? And that's the mark of a true fighter. That's the mark of a smart fighter. Against Katsides, after he got knocked down with the left hook, you know what I'm saying, he started employing more combinations, and he was able to finish up the fight in the 9th round. So he's got the jab, he's got the straight right, he's a combination puncher, and he's always in excellent condition. You know what I'm saying? You can't have any doubts about that. But the only true doubts that have arisen in this fight is how he handles the weight. You know what I mean? People will point to his performance against Floyd Mayweather Jr., but, you know what I'm saying, he was in against, basically a guy that came in rehydrated as a natural middleweight, you know what I'm saying? And he still kind of managed to hold his own, it still went to a decision. And here one detail is people claim that Manny will overwhelm Juan Manuel because he's at welterweight. Now, I don't know how many people are actually informed, but what I'm saying, the truth of the matter is it's this simple. Manny isn't actually going into the ring any heavier than he did at super featherweight. At welterweight he'll weigh in at 142. And then he'll go inside the ring the next night at 145, 148. If you watch the second fight, he weighed in at 129 and went out at 144 the next night. Okay, so his fight night weight isn't any different at welterweight than it was at super featherweight. You know what I'm saying? The only difference now is that instead of having to add on 10, 15 pounds like he would at 130, he's only having to add on 3 or 5 pounds at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? So, Juan Manuel is basically fighting the same fighter. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, size-wise. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll find it any more difficult to handle Manny's punches at welterweight than he did at super featherweight. And the truth of the matter is, we all know that Manny has improved over the years. I'm not going to take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? I will be straightforward and say that yes, Manny has changed. But, no matter how many times these two enter the squared circle, it will always be the same fight. Marquez has become a bit more aggressive recently, but he will be the counterpuncher on Saturday. Manny may have become more of a counterpuncher, but he will be the brawler on Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? They'll go back to their natural instinct. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect this fight to be any different than the first two fights. I hope people have taken this time to hear what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? And I hope people take this week to ponder over what I have just spoken. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if Juan Manuel pulls off this upset, okay? Because if there's any fighter in the world that is capable of pulling this off, it's Juan Manuel Marquez. With that in mind, I'm looking forward to a great fight. The whole world is looking forward to a great fight. Expect the crowd to be loud and plentiful at the weigh-in. Expect them to be loud and proud at the fight. The pageantry will be on display Friday afternoon and Saturday night. Mexico and the Philippines in a fight that has been demanded since the final bell rang 3 years ago. Doesn't get any better than this. You know what I'm saying? So let's just hope that we get a good fight.